All right. Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the News Project Live on GNAT-TV's Facebook page. I'm Andrew McKeever, the news director at GNAT-TV's News Project. Pleasure to be with you again, as always, on Friday afternoon. Today is September 2nd, start of Labor Day weekend coming up, and hopefully you're all looking forward to a pleasant and relaxing long weekend. The weather is certainly cooperating with us so far, although I hear there's some rain in the forecast. I don't know. Maybe that was just a dark rumor. Anyway, just a few things to kind of cover with you today. Fairly quiet news week overall as we wind up the end of summer, sort of unofficially anyway. I know we have another 3 more weeks to go, but I guess Labor Day weekend sort of announces the arrival of fall. Uh, just a few things here. In the Bennington 4 district, starting out with some political stuff, we now have a race. Initially, it looked like the two incumbent office holders, Seth Bongartz and Kathleen James, would be returning unopposed to Montpelier next January to represent the two-member district of Bennington 4, which includes the towns of Manchester, Arlington, Sandgate, and a part of Sunderland. But a candidate who was running in the Republican primary as a write-in won enough write-in votes to qualify to get on the ballot for next November. And that's Joe Jervis. Some of you may remember. He ran for the Arlington Select Board last March during town meeting. Wasn't successful in that race, but is throwing his hat back in the ring for state representative. And so he'll be opposing both Seth Bongartz and Kathleen James, both Democrats. It's a top two vote getters out of the three. So we'll see who winds up coming in first or second place when the election is held in November. Um, we had an opportunity to talk with all three of the candidates earlier this week, and you can watch that program on our website or on one of our channels, 1074, 1084, 1094 on your TV dial, where they basically just talk about some of the major issues that are top of mind for them. We didn't get really into any kind of back and forth on that, but this is just sort of seen as an opportunity for them to kind of say, hey, here's what I'm most concerned about: housing, childcare, and a few other issues, of course, dominating much of the conversation. Um, we may or we may not sure yet, have an opportunity to have the three of them into our studio for a roundtable back and forth where we would have an opportunity to, poke back at some of the positions or ask them to explain things further. But anyway, thought that maybe just to kind of get us all started, you might find it interesting to watch that. So check out our website on gnat-tv.org, and you can watch that show right now. So that makes two competitive races now in our neighborhood up here in the North Shire. The other one, of course, is the one in the Bennington-Rutland 1 district. That includes the towns of Dorset, Danby, Landgrove, Peru, and Mount Tabor. And there we have Mike Rice, who is a farmer who is running on the Democratic side. And then we also have William Jotty, who is running on the Republican ballot. So we have a debate, discussion, call it what you want, lined up on September 29th. So we'll have the two of them in our studio and a chance to hear from both of them about what their takeaways are on some of the major issues facing our neck of the woods and the state in general at that point. We're also very happy to announce that we're going to have a debate and discussion between the two candidates who are running for lieutenant governor, the two major party candidates. That would be former Lieutenant Governor David Zuckerman, who is back this year looking to reclaim his old job. He, as you may remember, ran in 2020 against Governor Phil Scott for the governorship, lost that race, and went back to doing his organic farming thing for the last couple of years, but has decided that he's not finished with politics quite yet, and running as a Democrat for the lieutenant governor. He's being opposed by State Senator Joseph Benning, who was a state senator from the Northeast Kingdom, I believe Caledonia County, if memory serves correct. Anyway, the two of them will be down in our studio on September 19th, and we'll have a chance to talk with them about what's top of mind for each of them in terms of what they would like to see happen in the state and what they would be doing should they be elected to the lieutenant governorship. We've also been reaching out to the other candidates, candidates for the governorship, candidates for the U.S. Congress, candidates for the U.S. Senate, all the major party candidates. We're still working on that. Hopefully, we'll be able to pull a few of those discussions together as well between now and November, just to help inform all of you as to if you're undecided on one of the candidates, maybe give you an opportunity to get a little more insight into their thinking. Speaking of which, there is going to be a debate in Manchester coming up next week on Thursday, September 8th. Democrat Congressman Peter Welch, who's running for the U.S. Senate seat that's being vacated by Patrick Leahy, and his Republican challenger, Gerald Malloy, former Army officer, will be having a debate at the Southern Vermont Arts Center on, again, September 8th. It starts at 6 o'clock. And that will feature the two of them. It's being hosted by VT Digger, and I believe they're planning to live stream it. But you can, at least as of this morning anyway, tickets were still available if you wanted to go see it live. And that should certainly be a very interesting conversation. I'll look forward to seeing that. Otherwise, let's see. One other upcoming event that some of you might want to know about is over at the Manchester Community Library, the new executive director, newly appointed executive director, Ed Surgeon, is going to be holding the library is going to be holding a meet and greet, I guess you could say, to allow the public to meet Mr. Surgeon. That will be starting at 5 o'clock on Wednesday, September 7th. As many of you remember, Mr. Surgeon was appointed a couple of weeks ago. He is going to be replacing Violet Gannon, who left last March, and there'll be an opportunity to kind of just get to know Mr. Surgeon and maybe hear a little bit from him and perhaps some of the other library officials about future ideas they have for the library. So we'll be going there as well, and looking forward to hearing all what they all may say. Just one other reminder, we mentioned this last week, but just again, schools are back. Schools reopened earlier this week, just about right across the entire area. So have patience for those school buses, okay? Really important that if you come across a school bus with flashing lights, slow down and stop. Wait till the lights go off. And then finally, I should mention, in case you're looking for something to do this weekend, the Garlic Town Festival is going to be happening in Bennington on Saturday, tomorrow, September 3rd, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. It'll be in downtown Bennington, kind of along Washington Street and Depot Street. The street's kind of just to the west of Main Street. And many of you will probably fondly remember the Old Garlic Fest that used to occur over in Wilmington. So this is a continuation of that. It's moved to Bennington, been there now for a couple of years. Sounds like there's some great bands, some great entertainment, lots of fun. If you're a big fan of garlic, and I happen to know a couple of people who are, and you know who you are, where else would you rather be? Except where, you're going to be surrounded by all things garlic. Anyway, again, that's tomorrow tomorrow from 10 to 5 p.m. down at Bennington, and you can go on the Chamber of Commerce's website and learn everything you want to know about it. One last thought, we also had a chance, just returning to the political side of things for a little minute, to speak with the Speaker of the House of Representatives in Vermont. Jill Kowinski is a state representative from the Burlington area. She was making a trip through Bennington County last Monday. She had time to stop off and chat with us in our studio for a little bit, and you'll be able to watch that show also on our website and any of our stations. We also attended a very interesting roundtable conversation she held with about 20 local community leaders up at the Manchester Rec Park. Really interesting conversation, and we may learn more about that in days to come. Anyway, well, that'll do it for us for today. Thanks again for being with us. Hope you looking forward to a nice, relaxing weekend, and we'll see you again the next time. All right, take care.